Welcome to AltJake Takes On.
Hello again, everybody. We are back. This is AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On. I'm here as always with my buddy George. How you doing today, my friend?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. I feel like we got a lot of different exciting things to talk about this week all over the place. So it'd be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. How is what you got on your plate today, buddy?
We got off from work today, which was nice, so I appreciate that. And weather's getting back to the 90s for a week or two, then we're back to fall, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, we're out of 110s here, so everybody's
I can't
celebrating.
take that stuff anymore, dude.
Yeah, get away from the heat.
Yeah. Hey, before we get into rolling, when we thank Dr. Gina for Sunday, that was pretty big. It was a good episode.
Yes. That was
great.
great.
I went back and actually listened to it, which I never do.
Yeah, I've been clipping and editing it in the little free time that I do have for it. And yeah, it's one of those times where a lot of times when I edit it, I'll skip through because I don't want to hear myself talk or everything. But man, that was such an interesting conversation, and so many different points were made that, I feel like we're obviously from a different perspective from her being a psychology, expert and professor and doctor, but also like being able to look at it as a wrestling fan as well. It was a very interesting conversation, and I was really glad to have her on. And yeah, she's already looking forward to coming back sometime during the fall, which will be great. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of great more topics to talk with her about, because that was, I'm really thank you again for booking that. That was an amazing conversation. If you guys haven't gone back and listened to it, please, it's a great conversation that I think everybody can benefit from too, from different aspects, whether we're talking about Bayley or the art of the return, or how wrestling impacts people from a young age into their fandom now. It was awesome. I'm really glad we did that.
Yeah, the way things go is we have a basic plan when we start, and then when it goes, because what you're getting, and a lot of people say when you hear a personality, it's their personality jacked up to 11 or whatever that people say. What you hear here with me, and I know Jake's the same way, but let him talk on his own. This is me when I talk to Jake off air. This is the same me. I don't change, and I don't change my personality for the show or nothing. Jake knows when I talk here is how I talk to him normally. So
that's why when people say sometimes, like where they say it's a good interview, I always say, like, thank you. I always look at more as a conversation, because I don't go into it with anything trying to put on a performance or do anything different. Like, this is just who we are. And what I'll usually do is just have like a page with a couple of topics in case we need it, or in case I get sidetracked or don't have something to say. But I feel like every time we just end up crossing them off naturally as we go along, almost every single conversation. And it's one of those things too, that it's something different too, whether we've been able to bring on some people who've worked in the business, people who talk to folks that work in the business, people that do kind of what we do, and have great conversations with everybody. It's one of my, like I've said, it's my favorite thing to look forward to every single Sunday, whether it's, have a great guest like we had last week, or open mic like we're coming up for this week, coming up this Sunday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, where we can just talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about. Luckily, there's a few shows coming up this weekend that should be exciting to talk about.
Yeah, I was hoping to get somebody to come talk about tonight's show. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
For Worlds Collide. Hey, I'm happy to talk about it. Hey, if we want to do similar to what we did for Clash in Paris, where we kind of do a review of it then within it, that's fine too. Yeah.
Remember when we talked about having an early show for the overseas people?
Yes.
Okay, October 5th. October 5th is going to be that day.
Oh, all right. Perfect. All right, let's write that down.
I have talked to somebody, and we're 90% confirmed for his appearance on the show.
Perfect. All right, we'll have to figure out what time.
It's probably gonna, whatever. It's up to him basically, because
cool. Right. I mean, I know
I'm invading his time zone.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, for me here in Arizona, I know we're like an 8 or 9 hour time difference from the UK. So it's a pretty big jump. That's why.
Yeah. I didn't want to have him come on at 8 o'clock our time, East Coast time. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, no, that's we don't want him coming on at 1, 2 in the morning there.
Right.
I fully, that's one of the reasons why
even though he said he would. I'm like, dude, no.
Which I appreciate, but we're willing to work with it. We'll find a happy medium, maybe 9 or 10 p.m. his time or something like that. I feel like it's one of the reasons I've always respected the UK fans that either will stay up late or wake up early or whatever for the shows when they really get into, like, I know for like WrestleManias or Royal Rumbles or big shows, it's important for the fans there. It's kind of similar to what I do for soccer, just the reverse. You're waking up at 5 in the morning. Although, hey, tomorrow my game's at 9:30 a.m. my time. I can wake up normally. I'm excited for that. I'll be able to actually enjoy that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
But I wanted to, I've been trying to get somebody over there that has kind of a name and we know of, and this will be that person. But I want to see how a wrestling fan over there takes their day and how it works out for the time change and everything. Be interesting to hear.
Yeah, no, it's a different aspect, a different one. Especially, I'm very curious now how it works out with the Netflix and being able to watch it live, because I don't, I know before that whether they've had certain pay channels with Sky Sports or whatever they had to do. I think now the international package, I mean, just from what I know from the people that I know up in Canada, it's great for them, but I'm wondering how it works so much for the people that are in a different time zone international market. That should be cool.
There's a lot of questions I want to get into. I'm going to be interested to see what they think about the new announcement of WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia this year. It'll be interesting.
It's crazy. Yeah, because when they announce it, you think it's going to be like, no, 26 is still in Vegas. But I mean, I guess we can start and get into that with it from where the announcement that happened today at 3 p.m. Eastern, that was not really kind of one of those worst kept secrets in the business. Everybody kind of knew it was going to be this announcement of WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia, but people weren't sure if a lot of people were thinking there was going to be 2 WrestleManias, one in Saudi and then another. And I mean, it made a lot. It made sense kind of when you talked about it and think about it, but I feel like with what they've done and making the other shows so big, whether it's the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, I still feel like we're going to see Survivor Series and War Games end up at 2 nights, possibly even Money in the Bank too, because of being able to have the 2 events each night. It just makes a lot of sense.
If there's a women's and a men's event, I'd rather have 2 nights where I don't get it all in one shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, especially because all of those are, it's like none of those are going to be like short matches. I mean, you got the Rumbles that are super long, but the Money in the Bank matches are always going to be at least 30, 40 minutes, and same usually with War Games. And so, it spreads it out. It also, it puts more emphasis on each match. So you don't have to like start, because obviously you're going to start with one and end with the other. And it's
It's like Cornette says, why have a steak if I'm going to have a steak?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're going to have it as, if you set this up where you can have it as 2 nights anyway, and people are getting used to it, it's just part of the deal. And I just think it would do it. I don't think they should expand it beyond that. I feel like those, what would that be? 5 would be it would make the most sense. Yeah.
Whenever there's a woman and men's, same thing. Like women's Money in the Bank one night, men's the next night. Yeah, that's fine. Because I don't want. I'm with you. I don't like it all in one night. Because I see it women's usually opens up the Money in the Bank, and the men end it. Yeah, but I've seen it already. I don't want to see it again.
And it's one of the
women's are better.
Especially the last couple. The last few have really been, and they really seem to have worked a lot harder with it. And it's also one of those things too that it really, you're only going to have 2 other matches on the entire, maybe 3 at most, to have on the card, and you want to get more people involved in those big shows for those weekends, as opposed to just coming out and being on the SmackDown before or Raw after. So I liked how they did the press conference today, though. It was, we gotta shout out our guy Joe Tess. I mean, I feel like this is really what Tessitore was brought in for. He's great as an announcer as well, and he's awesome on Raw, but I feel like this stuff where he's more the host, the MC, also too when he does the voiceovers for the video packages that they do. I feel like that's
professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said earlier when we were talking,
it really just brings a credibility that that WWE has not always had. I mean, Michael Cole's good at stuff like this,
right?
But Tessitore is great, and
he's also the voice of college football. Like when you're watching a major college football game, he's on it,
right? Yeah, and like it or not, college football is probably the number 2 biggest sport in this country. I mean, NFL is going to be king, but more people watch college football, I think, than baseball, basketball. It's just part of it's part of the culture with it. And so, yeah, he's as him being the face of it, the voice of it, it just adds so much credibility to it. And that's part also with the ESPN partnership. I don't know how early you tuned into to the live stream they were doing today, but the background music was like a Sports Center theme almost. It had a Sports Center hit to it.
Yeah, I caught it right from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I tuned in right. It was noon my time, and they took a few minutes to kind of get rolling with it. I think it didn't start till 10 minutes after. I'm not sure exactly what reasons those might have been for, but I don't know. I mean, for the company, obviously it makes a lot of sense. I'm very curious of what the number is that they're getting from Turk Al-Sheikh for this because we know it was what $50 million per show for like Crown Jewel and the Greatest Royal Rumble, but this is WrestleMania. I feel like you got to add another. I feel like there's another zero added, and homeboy there chipped in. It's like 500 million is probably the number I would think. I'm wondering how much or how many legends are going to be involved with this one, because we know how much Turkey Al-Sheikh loves the legends, whether they're with
I don't know
us
if you
or
can.
not.
You really can't pull that.
That's what I'm hoping is they don't. So I didn't think they were going to do. No, I guess I did. Yeah, what I thought it was going to be was this was going to be like WrestleMania old school or like WrestleMania throwback, and they were going to do.
Getting that.
Yeah. It's regular WrestleMania 43. That's I guess was kind of surprising with it, because I thought maybe they would have been able to call it WrestleMania, but have it be like a full throwback edition where you have more of the legends out there and have people almost in like the Saturday Night's Main Event type gear or whatever with it. But I mean, it's just going to be the full and real WrestleMania, which I mean,
that's fine.
It'll be great, but it's just, I mean, how early is it going to be in the day? They announced that it's during Riyadh season, which is
like 1 or 2,
which is much earlier in
Eastern.
Yeah. Woof. I mean, WrestleMania starting before noon on the West Coast. All right. I'm going to have to, it's going to be,
if you ever want to know how much the stock market fluctuates during one of these things, I was behind the scenes for this one. Not really, but so TKO stock, it opens up this morning at 201.76. Okay. Its high point got to 204.10 at about 1:32 o'clock Eastern. As this announcement goes on, it's dropping. So it hits a low of 270.
Okay.
It's that low. Once that low takes into effect, after the announcement's over, Wall Street gets back in the frame of mind. It closed at 202.44.
Okay.
Stock market's weird, dude. Took its sub. I was telling you as we were talking, it was diving. As this announcement was going, it was diving. Well, the announcement ends and it shoots right back up.
Yeah, and that's weird. And when you were telling me that, like, I was kind of my response back to was, I feel like anybody that would be dropping out now is people that are just reactionary, that are just don't like, because there is going to be a section of people, whether it's for political reasons, whatever reasons, they are just not going to appreciate or have any like of the Saudi shows or their involvement with it. So people were selling their stock or whatever, getting out because of that. Well, more people are going to be business minded and realize how much money is going to be made from this. And I even said to you, if I was a stock, I would be like, well, when's it going to bottom out? I'm going to buy as much as I can at that point.
Think about how stupid that would have been, though, Jake. If you would have sold your shares at 270, so it was 270 cents a share.
Right.
That was the low point. If you would have waited an hour and a half more, it went up to 202.44.
I mean, people being reactionary.
So it's $2 a share. If you can't play that game. That's why I was surprised that there was a stock effective in any way negative, just because you figure for people, you're playing the stock market to make money. This is going to make a lot of it, whether you liked it or not. And that's not the point for what the stock market is. I was just playing around.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting that
it was interesting to see.
It is, and it just you wonder why it would have dropped. Because I mean, anybody who understands business knows why this is being done. Again, whether you like it or agree with it or not, it's going to be weird for WrestleMania to not be in North America. It's going to be weird for it to start at an earlier time, but it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, but there's a reason they're doing it.
Yeah. people that know money understood what was going on.
Yeah.
And you can see that by what I just read to you.
Yeah. From the business.
It closed out $2 and from up higher per share from the start. Yeah. It was weird. Yeah.
I mean,
so they figured things out.
I mean, it's too, I mean, that's why, I mean, we know that Saudi Arabia is doing this to give themselves a better image, but I mean, Vince McMahon, it was a businessman. He knew what he was doing when he made this initial deal with them, however many years ago it was. It's just,
their money's green like the rest of ours.
Yeah, exactly. It's just part of the deal, and it's going to make them a lot of money with it. And anybody who is surprised by this, you're not paying attention, and I don't really think there's anybody that surprised by it. I just think more people were, the social justice outragers are going to social justice outrage over it, and then they'll find something else in the next week. This is nothing new.
They'll watch it.
Oh, absolutely. They always do. They weren't going to watch after Brock came back, and then they did like they were the highest show on cable the next 3 Saturdays or whatever.
Did they say where, like what stadium this would be in? I don't remember hearing that.
They just said Riyadh. I'm not sure if there's a bigger one than they've done there. I would assume the biggest one they've got, or they're in process of building one. I would assume. I don't know.
Because they will sell out both nights.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Easily. And, there will be people that will travel there, whether there's going to be many from North America that we'll see. But I mean, a lot of people like from Europe and Africa, they, the Middle East isn't that far from them. That's why Dubai and, Saudi Arabia are tourist destinations, and what's the other one? Qatar. That's the other one where they have the World Cup there, because, they've invested a lot of money. They're very nice places to go there if you have money. And let's be real, WrestleMania hasn't been for the common fan in a long time. It's been something that you either are rich and you can go to a lot of times, or you pool your money together and you're going to one. This is going to be the one WrestleMania you go to. It's less like any other sport, whether it's the Super Bowl or the World Series. The World Cup just released their first set of tickets either yesterday or today at dynamic pricing for the first time ever for the World Cup. And it's
that's exciting.
Not surprising. Like, that's just how it's going to be. That's, if people are going to pay for it, they're going to sell it at the price people will pay for it.
Yeah, they don't have a venue set up yet, or not set up yet, but
okay, they did just said Riyadh. Okay, so I would assume then,
as far as I can tell, I'm looking as I'm talking to you, but
I didn't hear one when they said it. They just said Riyadh during that Riyadh season, which is like the early spring, so it'll be earlier this year than it has been.
It's like Wabbit season.
You got me with that one. That's good. Now I can't unhear that. I'm only gonna hear that with No, I like it. That's great. No, that was awesome. That was good. No, I wouldn't be surprised if they're either in process of building something or expanding something with it, because I know they have good big size arenas in those places, but I'm not sure if they have like stadiums, and that would be what they need.
I'm looking. I don't know the knowledge.
So. Yeah, I'm not the expert on Middle Eastern architecture and cities, but I know. Here's the thing: I know that they've got enough money that if they want to build it out, they can knock it out. I mean, that's however they went about it, whatever. But I know that Qatar, when they announced the World Cup for Qatar, none of those stadiums had been built yet, and you have to have 10 stadiums. I think it is maybe 8 for the World Cup, and they built them.
They have Riyadh Stadium, which holds 92,000 people.
90 totally. Okay.
So
I guess we know where it's going to be.
I'm assuming it would be there, but we'll see.
Good God.
Yeah.
Jesus. I didn't. Okay. No, I would think that's where it would be. And I would think that, yes, it will sell out. Even if it doesn't really sell out, Turkey will make sure it does, to make sure that it's, I mean, this has got to be a big thing for them. I mean, I'm not sure if there's
Saudi's hosting the World Cup in 2034.
Yeah, they are. I forgot about that. You're
Speaking
right.
Of your people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they got to have a venue up. That would be okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
now.
no, you're right. Yeah, as you're starting to say it. Plus, I mean, I'm just looking at there's like also the Sport City Stadium, which holds like
it's a nice stadium
anywhere,
too.
but the Sport City Stadium. It's funny. I'm looking that up right now.
Plenty
right now it holds
around,
58. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, this one stadium, the King Fayed Sports City Stadium, right now holds like 58,000, but it's being expanded to 70 because of the World Cup. Yeah, no, it makes a ton of sense. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, and they've got the money to do it, and I'm sure these are going to be beautiful arenas and beautiful stadiums because why wouldn't they be? They would invest in it. I mean, that's like you were I didn't know this until you told me today. Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't. His net worth isn't known or cannot be calculated because it's so high, which is just.
They give you the old. Well, we can try to estimate it, but
I just. No. My response to that is just keep writing zeros till your hand hurts. Apparently, but hey, I mean, good for him and good for them, and I'm sure it will be great. And I'm sure there will be either some storyline match that's incredible or certain other stars coming back. I saw online already that Steve Austin's trying to make sure he's in the best possible shape he can be. It's going to be one of those situations where if you can go, that's the time. I feel like Goldberg.
Yeah, they're gonna make this. They're gonna, unfortunately, they're probably gonna dwarf Vegas this coming year.
Oh,
with everything they're gonna try for Saudi Arabia, it's gonna be.
I would think so. I would think so. I mean, I would think maybe it will still be good this year, but I would think it'll be building in. Yeah, no, that is a very, very valid point.
Once Vegas is over, it's foot down hard. I'm sure they're gonna go hard.
Oh yeah. And the promotions and the it's going to be like unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's going to be a large investment to it because this has to be a success. It's just there's no other way around it. I'm sure Goldberg is kicking himself right now though that he whined and complained about his retirement because pretty sure
he loves Goldberg, dude.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten I'm sure he could probably still get a good paycheck with it, but he might have to swallow some pride and kiss a little ass to go to pull that off. As where if he'd have just shut his mouth and taken it what it was, he could definitely be a big part of this. But he still might be. You never know.
You know what you're going to see that you mentioned. I think you're going to see a lot of the old timers in the crowd.
Oh, for sure.
That you will. That might be your ticket that you were talking about with the legend.
They might just be hanging out in like the suite with him. Like they hang out. He gets to hang out with a different couple of legends every day leading up to it. He spends one day with Shawn and Taker, spends another day with Mick and Triple H. I don't know, just to where he can talk about or maybe spends a day with Mick and Taker talking about the Hell in the Cell or whatever he wants to.
Since it's been announced, one thing popped into my mind, Jake. Maybe you can think about it. In the days leading prior, NXT from Saudi Arabia,
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Small venue, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be somewhere they can do with it. It might be able to do a decent sized venue with it. Honestly, I don't know how well NXT does over there, but even so, I mean, everything like you said. But the international ease to be able to watch it, I would also think that if they wanted to do that, again, go back to Turki Al-Sheikh and make sure it's promoted well locally. And if you get people excited about it, I don't see any reason why they couldn't do it from over there. It would be a great experience for the younger talent. And I mean, it's always a fun and great show. I don't see any reason why, especially too, it seems like the Saudi Arabia, because I know when they first were doing the Saudi shows, one of the things that people complained about was that the crowds were kind of mixed and not as into it, kind of more just like happy to be there. Yeah, I feel like the last 2 to 3 years they have been into it, especially the last year or so. Like they are chanting, they're singing the songs, they know everything. I mean, so hey, and that's all I ever want from a crowd, whether they, I don't care where it's from. Sometimes it can be a little bit too much, like we've seen in the certain French crowds. It'll be a little bit much, but I'd rather have a crowd more into it than just sitting on their hands. I mean, that's one of the reasons.
These guys have picked it up big time. You're 100%.
Yeah. And I feel like that's part of and I mean, that's whatever they've done promotion wise out there, or just making sure that people have access to it. I'm not 100% sure what it is. Maybe it's just the product's been better and they're more into it, but that tells me that given the opportunity, I don't see any reason why NXT wouldn't be able to be successful over there. You know, they seem a little bit more forgiving of some of the cheesiness, I guess is the way to say it in the storylines, and NXT has that. I personally kind of love that about it. I always, like I said, I look at it as college versus the pros. You know, you're learning, you're growing, you're gonna make some mistakes. Yep. You know, you're gonna 100%. Pull a Chris Webber and call the timeout you don't have, but you do it there, so you don't do it in the pros. You know, is what it is. But it's now I'm very curious, and I really hope they do well. I hope NXT does the show up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to. WrestleMania is past. They always do something big.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Stand and Deliver is the big show they have for NXT.
Yeah, but they always do it the afternoon of, and this won't be. They won't be able to do that with
That's a good fucking. Oh shit! Yeah, I guess live that would be 6 a.m.
Yeah, if they do right, if they do an afternoon show there, it's going to be like 5, 6 in the morning. That might work.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, it's also another one of those things that, again, the world's easily accessible. You can go back and watch it. Because by then, I don't know where NXT will be, because I know it's right now on Peacock till I think the end of the year. So I don't know where the NXT PLEs are specifically going to go, and if they just follow where the WWE ones go. But
NXT still on
easily accessible. They're on Peacock, I believe, till the end of this year is what but it could be wrong. They might still be on there longer. I'm not 100% sure of how that exactly works. I know it's at least till the end of this year. I remember seeing that in the deal with Peacock when they made the switch so that the regular PLEs were going over to ESPN. NXT was staying, but that was just till the end of the year. I don't know what the plan is after that, but I'm sure they've got a great one. Let's be real. I mean, I was also funny. I thought it was great how Triple H made sure to shout out Nick Khan for making the deal happen. It's like Nick Khan and Turkey Al-Sheikh. Like, Nick Khan, man, there's no more important acquisition for that company than that guy in the last
Vince's last big W.
Yeah, it really that and Cody. Yeah, you know, he got Nick Khan in. The last big major signing he brought in was getting Cody in. And shout out to Vince for knowing that, no, Cody had built something and bringing Cody in as Cody as he was, you know, and that was pretty much the last good thing he did and got out. And I'm glad he did, because I still was surprised. I thought I did think he would come back with the American Nightmare and the music. I just thought that the agreement would be that he had to cut out the wrestling has more than one royal family. I thought Vince was just gonna be like, nope, that line gets cut, and the rest of it you can keep. But
let it all go. He did.
Yeah, and that was the right call. I mean, who has sold more merch since the day Cody came back? I don't think anybody. No,
it's cool. It's like you were talking about. It's kind of cool that you can actually, like, tonight, AAA is going to be on. Okay. It starts at 10 Eastern. That's 9 my time, but I go to bed relatively early because, in case y'all don't know, I turned 60 Monday. Okay, 60. And like we were talking, you can stop it where you left off, go to bed, wake up, pick it right back up where you it's. Yeah, I've seen a lot of shit in my 60 years. Let's go with that. It's amazing to me.
My TV is great. If I pause it and turn the TV off with where it is, but when I go back to the YouTube app, it'll pull it right back up without having to do anything. It's beautiful. Because and they're so smart too. That's, you know, SmackDown goes on from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. AAA starts right at
that's for East Coast, but you guys have a little conflict.
Yeah,
because your show starts at 7 your time, right, or something?
No, it starts for me.
There's an overlay. There's an overlay tonight.
It starts at I go 5 to 7, and then 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. is SmackDown, and 7 p.m. goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what it is there's certain people and I think it might be like local cable channels or whatever. I know if you have DirecTV and satellite, it doesn't, but if where SmackDown doesn't technically air live, you watch it on like the USA West Coast feed, and that would literally be for those people. And I don't think there's as much of that anymore, because I think the cable companies have figured that out. But I would, because that would be then SmackDown start. They literally both of them starting at the exact same time. It'd be 7 o'clock local time.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, no. For me, it's live, but I forget what cable. It's whatever cable I don't have, because the reason I have what I have, and I have DirecTV. That's that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it'll be a fun show. I really do think Worlds Collide will be a fun show. So far, it was exactly bam. Thank you. Yeah, you finished my sentence. And they do well enough where they mix in the WWE talent, but it's not like it's. I mean, I guess this match, as I'm saying it, I'm like, no, there is somebody in every single match on this one with it. But this is another Worlds Collide show, so it makes sense, But
yeah, the only difference tonight, Jake, is going to be they're not in front of a Mexican crowd, though.
No, but it's Las Vegas. I mean,
know,
but
I just want to see if there's a difference.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious on that.
Yeah, I mean, the most over, the part of it, I think, is Dom, and I think Dom will still be the most over for this.
Right, but the Mexican crowd knows everybody.
True. That is true. That is very true. Now you got me thinking about it. That's a good
I'm
point.
Looking at the card going, I'm not sure these people are going to know who some of these guys are, and women.
No, but I mean,
even when we watched the last show together, those two women that came in, nobody knew, but that Mexican crowd knew them both, and they were super happy to see them.
That is true. That is true. Now I think they've got WWE talent in every match, and that's probably why they do, to make sure people at least have some knowledge and are ready for people that they know. Because I mean, everybody does know. I mean, Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez should be fun with, especially having Raquel in the back there with it. And I mean, let's be real, Mr. Iguana is super over, Lola Vice is super over, the Natalia, and I'm not sure
that's
if it's
where I was going.
Abby Apache. Yeah.
Who knows that?
Nobody. I'm not even sure if I pronounced her name right. I don't know if it's Fabi. I'm assuming it's Apache. I'm gonna get that one right, I hope.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that Natalia kind of still does the non-WWE character that she's been doing outside of WWE, because that's been way more entertaining than what she's done. I mean, the last 5 to 10 years on the main roster in WWE. So,
the one that I'd be interested to see the crowd reaction to is the Psycho Clown and Pagano.
Yeah, versus the New Day.
Mexican crowd loves those two dudes.
That's true. And in the New Day, they're heels, but they're not as hated as they once were. So they might not, because that could be part of it too. If the New Day was just super hated,
Can we talk about that?
We're going to cheer the other guys. Yes, we can talk about whatever you want to. Please.
That New Day. And it could have been one of the best heel turns ever, but they just dropped it.
Yeah, no, and I still don't really understand.
When we saw them hit Biggie, we all,
yes,
oh my God. And they never followed, never.
No, I wouldn't say they never did. I would say for the first couple of weeks, it was still good. No, because they were still doing it. Like, I loved it where, like, not even the heels were letting him in the fucking back. And then that was when it ended. You know what I mean? Like, they did it, and then the next week, the baby faces were mad at them. Okay, cool. And then the next week, the heels were mad at them. Okay, even better. And then the next week, you know what I mean? Like, nothing.
When you just said if the New Day were bigger heels, it made me trigger it right there.
And they were.
They should be.
Yes, they were. They should be. They fucking were. And then they just shot the bed on that one. And
I don't understand it.
I'm usually one to either I try to be optimistic about it, and I will try to play the long game on certain things. And a lot of times it ends up working out of like, okay, that's why, whatever. No, this one, there's no long. This one was just a complete fumble, a complete bed shit. There was nothing good about it because it worked so well. It's one of those things too, where, sometimes things work well and sometimes they just work really fucking well. This one was one of those things, like, it was surprising how much heat they got. And then
they should be hated.
Yes,
hated.
Yes. Like, yeah, it should be like back. Remember when Dom wasn't allowed to speak on the mic? That should be them.
Yeah, it should be to the point where they have people coming to jump the rail against them.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, exactly. No, and just I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe we can get an Unreal episode about that, because I'm very curious as to what happened. That was just a complete.
Unless someone didn't want to be that total bad guy.
But they still, because I feel like Woods and Kofi have done well on social media. At least Woods has. I haven't seen as much of Kofi's, but Xavier Woods has been a complete dickhead on Twitter.
Yeah.
And in character, you can tell it's, he's not really doing it, and it works. And just, no, I don't know
And
what happened.
if
And if
Big
they were
E did-
super heels, the crowd would eat
and
it up.
yeah, and I understand Big E can't do shit, but
Right.
he can get somebody to do shit for him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
This was presented on a silver platter.
Yeah.
With silver utensils and the napkin, everything perfectly set up.
Should have done if they were gonna have it where Big E was gonna manage a team to go against them. Why didn't they do that to introduce Fraxium on the main roster? People like them. They get over. I mean, they would have worked well. I don't know. I just think
I shake my head every time I see New Day. I do.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. That's why I said it. That's why, and I'm glad that triggered you to go into saying that, because I'm with you. That's why I said it, because it pisses me off.
Yeah, because here's the thing. When we first saw New Day way back when, it was cool. Bootios, all that shit. Yeah. Great. Then we got sick of New Day.
Yep.
I'm totally sick of seeing them.
Yes.
I don't want to see these guys anymore. They're done. Break them up. Do something. Then they hit Big E, and I'm like, okay, I'm back. And I told you specifically, I go, this brings me back into the New Day.
Yes, and I was with you. 100%. No, they needed to do something, and they did it.
Right.
They just didn't follow up. And that's that's my number one peeve with AEW is that they have something great happen, or they're given this great chance. Sad to say it, but when Jay Briscoe died and Mark Briscoe had this chance to just be a very sympathetic and over super baby, and they just didn't do anything with it. Or same with
Lexis
King and Brian Pillman. Exactly. And this was that moment where you just look, whether you meant for it to happen that great or not, doesn't matter. You were there.
Yeah, but
it's not about how you got there. They were there, and they
had to know this was perfect though when they had him hit him.
Which is why
the reactions online were
oh my
goodness.
No, it was. And that and that would make this match so much better. Now because it's the tag team championship match, maybe the New Day win it, but probably not, because they just got the titles back from WWE talent.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I don't care about the New Day again. No, I'm back to where I was to begin with. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, no, I fully am with you on that one. I didn't. I keep forgetting about the top right corner with that fatal 4-way match with Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Ethan Page, and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yeah, that's funny.
I feel like that's how you have to say that name. You gotta El Hijo de Dr. Wagner.
It's so funny to me.
It's the weirdest. I love it. That's right. I think that match could steal the show. I think those four are gonna put on a show. I mean, JD McDonough might be the best worker seller in the company. That dude.
Yeah, my show stealers the 8-man Lucha Showcase.
I could say, that could easily. I mean, and what does that even mean? Is that just is it a tag match? It looks like it's set up.
You're gonna see Mexican wrestling nights.
Yeah, you're just gonna see a bunch of flying around.
Yep.
Hey, you got the chairman out there with La Parka. The hamburger guy is fun. It'll be a good time. I would assume that match kicks off the show and just lets people up for fun. Right? You set them off on the right note. There's certain things that you just know that'll work in that sense. It just kick the people. And that's one of the ways, too, of making sure that you get the crowd into it. And now I'm much more interested. I was just kind of thinking Las Vegas prep. I was thinking there would have been. Yeah, no, I mean, there probably is going to be a large amount of Mexican fans that know what's going on to a point. And maybe more so now they've been on YouTube and part of the WWE for 3 months now, but we'll see. My hot take, my big prediction is
the Vikingo.
My big prediction is Dom wins tonight. I think I legitimately think Dom should win this title tonight. A, because he's so over with that AAA crowd. B, I think it could help them get a TV deal in the States.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I want to give a hot take and some fun, and I really love Dom. I think it's great how much work this kid's put in. Nobody has a bad word to say about him in real life, but he plays the best heel on TV. The kid's over. The kid's great. This should be his first technical world title.
I just think WWE is so invested. Yeah, WWE is so invested now. Heel deal Vikingo, though. They really are.
You're right. You could be. And maybe they can start a feud with them. I don't know. either way, if even Dom doesn't win, it's a singles match. He's main eventing the show in a singles match.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's awesome.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be a cool show. It'll be fun to see. Another thing we got at least to get
when
into
you watch it,
more,
when you watch tonight, when you watch tonight, pay attention to El Hio's work in the ring for me.
Oh, well,
just pay attention because I've been telling you for a while now he doesn't work very well. But
no, and I agree. No, he needs
a lot of people don't pay
down.
attention because it's a lot of flash. But.
Yeah, well, it's my problem. And again, I hate to kind of harp on things of AEW, but like when I think of things like where, oh God, what's the guy? I think it's Commander is his name. Does the same kind of stuff where like they set up for too long for it. You know, like it looks too choreographed. It looks when you, or like, what was it, Pac, who like takes 32 seconds to set himself up on the top rope. And I mean, the move that you pull off is cool, but it's wrestling. Like, you've got to be able to be fluid with it. It's got to work better. And that's where I have yet to see Vikingo adapt more. He's still doing what he's always done, which when they've had it in triple threats or tag matches, you can kind of hide it. That's where tonight, we'll see. I think tonight's the most important type to watch for him, because this would be there's nowhere to hide. It's a singles match, even if Dom has the Judgment Day out there with him, which I don't think he will. Maybe Finn, but Finn and JD both have matches on the card. So,
it's fun. We'll see.
It'll be interesting to see. No, it will be. That's my prediction. That's my hope. But I do hope that Dom wins. But the other big thing I wanted to at least get into is a couple other things, but the other big one was AJ Lee's first promo in, I think it was just over 10 years. I think they said I think it was like March or April of 2015 was when she left the company. So it's
been a while.
It was. But and I for a first promo back and to be able to actually like pull along the storyline and further things along, I thought it was great. Little long, but I mean the crowd was cheering her the whole time. I mean, the first time we ever heard a therapy chant in anything. That was, but they were listening to what she was saying. They were into the moment. They were invested, and I thought that was, I mean, like, obviously we knew they were going to be, but, I think it's cool to see. It's also one of my favorite things about returns. That's why I think like the best return probably of all time was Edge at the Royal Rumble in 2020. And for me, it's because they can be in those characters, they can have those moments, but there's a couple of times where you can see it in their eyes or just their face kind of drops where they just have that moment where they're just a human being and they're just like, this is fucking amazing. Like, this is
I did get a kick out of her line. If you're wondering why your millennial parents are freaking out.
It was good. That was good. Yeah, no, she was fun. And like being able to, talk about who and I thought it was smart where she was able to put herself over, but in kind of like, self-deprecating a little bit with it, but still being cool. And I thought it was done well. And then, Becky coming out with the black eye. Cause like we said on Spaces, none of those punches landed. I mean, you could tell she was trying to like punch her hand and not Becky, but she hit Becky a few times. But, I thought it was good to have Seth coming out in his tucked in cowboy boots. I'm not sure what that was about, but I'm never sure what Seth's gear's about, but that's
Nike cowboy boots, which I don't think they actually made.
I didn't realize that. Holy shit. I didn't.
I just picked up on that too. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's don't apologize. I missed that. And I'm glad I'm not like a sneakerhead, but I like a good comfortable shoe. I wear size 13, so it's important for me to have comfortable footwear. I didn't notice those were Nikes. That's great. That's, I mean, hey, there's some money invested into what he wears. He only ever wears this shit once. It was nice speaking of shoes, good to see AJ back in her Chuck Taylors. Everyone was like, oh, she was in Vans at the show. I'm like, did she wrestle in Chuck Taylors? Only she has to wear Chucks every time. I was kind of hoping when she came to the ring, she would not skip to the ring.
I mean, I understand. I mean, I get it, but she should be mad at Becky and Seth.
Right,
you gotta be mad. You don't gotta be skipping to the ring. You can skip to the ring.
But she's crazy. So it's like, it's more, at first it's head games and then B, she snaps.
You know where I'm going though.
Yeah, I get you 100%. Yeah. I do. Because I agree with you on that with Bianca sometimes when she skips to the ring when she should be mad. The thing about AJ is it wasn't like it was always like a, wasn't a happy skip. It was kind of like a scary skip. Like you're like, this bitch is fucking crazy skip.
All
You know
right,
what I mean? Like
I'll defer to you because I wasn't interested in her the first time around. So I never saw much of it.
So
I'll give it to you.
The way I look at it was, it's more of like that kind of like, you know, I remember seeing that Simpsons episode where like Bart's flying a kite at night and Marge is just like, there's something wrong about that. Hello, mother dear. Like it's that, like, and that's where, as long as she still does that, like where she immediately like snapped on Becky and just starts fucking attacking her with it and going crazy, as long as it's within that realm, it works with it. Now, I feel like at least the first night she kind of had to, because that was her gimmick, but I
understand that
coming from with it too.
You know what would work for me? Since you mentioned The Simpsons, if you had her skip to the ring with some like psychotic music with her, a new entrance theme or something.
That could work.
Like she's psycho. I don't know.
That could work.
Like I said, I don't remember her first run that well. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's there wasn't a lot of good about that time in the WWE anyway, her or anyone else with it. But I mean, and I could see them, like her music, you had to come back with the initial music, but maybe they need to.
We'll see how it goes.
But it was fun. I'm glad they set up the match. WrestlePalooza, for having the worst name in history, is setting up to be a goddamn fun show, which it has to be. I mean, ESPN's going all in. I saw a picture of ESPN's TV lineup going into WrestlePalooza. Like on like every channel, they're having at different points, like the WrestlePalooza special or Road to WrestlePalooza. Like
Did you know when you just said WrestlePalooza goes all in? Did you realize that was their code for the tickets?
No, I didn't.
All in. Pretty funny.
It's, I mean, I know I shouldn't laugh at the pettiness, but it makes me laugh. It just does. I mean, because again, when you call people bald assholes, and
I guess they're gonna lay off it now.
Here's the thing. As I've said with that whole thing, like, first, if they're gonna do it, it should be more or almost all NXT. Because let's be real, that's where the competition is. But I've also said before, like, if they're looking at a calendar, right? Like let's say in June, they're looking at the September calendar and they can do WrestlePalooza on the 13th, 20th, or 27th. And they know that the 20th is going to be like, why wouldn't you pick that weekend? You know what I mean? Like, I get, what I mean? Like now, if they're like purposely like, oh, we had it booked for the 27th, we had to change venue, move it around to make it happen. Okay, that's stupid. Like that's overkill. But if it's one of those things where it's like, well, why wouldn't we? I don't blame them. But
I think they made their point.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think that's but also, and if I get with NXT, because I also don't think that, like, hey, book NXT how you want to do your shows. If it happens to compete against them, fine. But I wouldn't worry about it, because kind of like I tell AEW that they should do is focus on your own house, get your own shit up, and get your own shit working. Which
you've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, it makes the most sense. The other thing that I really want to touch on a Raw with it was, and I think it's a red herring that they're making it seem like Jey Uso is possibly turning heel and acting more like Roman. I think it's to end up turning LA Knight heel, because I think that needs a refresh with it, but I'm not sure. But I thought it was a fun way to end the show, and at least something intriguing, going in with this storyline, and Jimmy kind of being like, what you doing? You're acting like Roman. It's interesting to me. I think it's fun. I think it's something at least different, kind of showing Jay's range as opposed to just being the Yeet Man.
Need something to refresh him a little bit. It's getting a little old.
And I kind of think LA Knight does a little bit too, where he's still over and it's great. But if they're not going to put a belt on him, and like the belt on him, you need some kind of refresh so he doesn't get stale and kind of get lost in the shuffle with it, because he is over and he's great, but
they lost. There's been a couple, like there's been a bunch of these where they've had it right there and they didn't take it. I can't figure out why. I really can't.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And it's one of the, it's also, but sometimes it's one of those things too where it's like, there's only so much world title to go around, even that you have two of them, but how big these rosters are, how deep they are, how they've made a lot of stars now. It was one of the problems 5-6 years ago. There wasn't as many stars. Now they might have a few too many, terrible, Horrible problem to have, I know, but
yeah, it sucks. But you got to strike. We talked about it with LA Knight. I mean,
we have, and
Cross was the same way. They had it right there. They didn't take it.
Yeah, but
Stuff
it's
like
also
that. We keep saying it.
Yeah, I get in that hard point of like, where do you do? Because I mean, with the world title picture though, like, is he in that level of those stars? Like, you know, where you've got CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and you know what I mean? Like maybe, but then maybe, I mean, and if he goes for the IC belt, like that's great, but is that what he wants? Because he puts himself up there. It's a tough situation for sure.
Yeah.
Which is where I think maybe a heel turn would be good. Just attack everybody, talk shit, be mad. I don't know. Give me something with it.
Something.
We'll see.
Something.
Yeah. Speaking of something, that's
it's a big win. Big W.
Win. Their
huge
big jump.
W.
Yeah, their big jump up for, I mean, they got an extra 112,000 people, but
and we talked about this before we came on. Why was that? Do you think that it went up?
I mean, we both think the only really, I mean, it's got to be the college kids that are back in school, got nothing to do on a Wednesday night because they don't have a lot of friends and don't talk to girls and aren't in a fraternity.
Yeah,
they just
let's not kill them early. They're only freshmen.
That's true. That's for the life of me, they cannot remember. But that's, I mean, here's the thing. Is 600 like a thing of the past?
No, they'll do it again.
I mean, but on an average, I get
yes.
That's the scary part. That's where, I mean, they just keep dropping. I mean, this video from Awful shows that the same show last year, September, I think last year, I think it was like the 11th and not the 10th, whatever. That was like 700 and change for their average viewers, you know, just like they just go in the wrong direction. I mean, it just sucks because you see that there is talent there and there's people that could do better, and then they staple them in the crotch. Just like,
yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like that was the first clip I saw when I went on Twitter on Wednesday evening after it's just like why would I tune into that? Like, why are people and then like Daniel Garcia is now a Death Rider.
Yes,
like that's
bad guy.
That guy. Garcia. I mean, Captain Dick Dan.
God, it'd be stupid if somebody did a weekly show reviewing this crap.
Yeah, it would, but it'll be fun. We'll make fun of it.
We haven't told anybody about it.
No, we haven't. No, we're hints for the people, Easter eggs for the folks that have watching this long. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll talk about things on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got since we're open mic night, we'll have a lot to talk about with it. But just I just don't understand. Oh my God. Just Daniel Garcia. Like, how many times has he turned?
It's interesting. It really is interesting to watch what's happening, though. It really is interesting.
He was a babyface because of the car accident, and then he wasn't going to join Jericho, and then he did, and then he left, and then he was a heel again, and then Jack Perry. I don't think he's like the Big Show, but small and not. So many heel. I don't know, but that's that company though. There's always just heel turn, face turn, heel turn, face. They don't stick with anything, or like somebody goes away and then like Mr. Wardlow and comes back and apparently
he's hurt again.
Torn his pec.
He's hurt.
Yeah, and not just hurt. Like I heard he from what I heard, he tore his pec. Like the injury Cody.
Here's the thing. You've been around sports. I played sports. You've been with your dad. You've played stuff. If you're if you're an athlete of any kind, okay, I played hockey.
Yeah.
If I don't play hockey for a year or so and I go out and think I can start playing like I would before, I'm going to hurt something. Something's going to get hurt. It's just the way it is. These guys aren't wrestling every day.
No, and there's not like a performance center where they can go do those type of things. Like they got to go to some random wrestling school or whatever. It's kind of like AAA, like when you have a baseball injury and you come back, you don't just join the big league club right when you come
they always
back.
Send them down. Hockey's the same way. You go down to AAA. Exactly right.
Right. Or like I know like with the NFL, they don't have that, but they'll do like a practice situation. They'll try to run it out. They'll try to do as much as they can to make sure. Because you can't go from not doing something for X amount of money. When was the last time we saw Wardlow on television? It was at least 6 months to a year ago.
Man,
You can't come back and go full speed. You know,
it doesn't work. The body doesn't work that way, folks.
you
Sorry.
get yourself full out hyped and ready to go. And that's where, you know, house shows, a performance center, something where you can do more than just working 1 day a week, maybe 2 if you're working Collision. But I mean,
you don't even have to call it a performance center. Just put a building up with a freaking ring and some weights.
Exactly.
Something.
Call it whatever you want. I don't. Yeah, exactly. You know, Tony Khan's Wrestling House. I don't care what you call it.
You cannot expect an athlete to do that. It's impossible.
Yeah, and you can't tell me you couldn't find a facility somewhere attached to the stadium in Jacksonville, for Christ's sake. Like figure something out with it.
They have a weight room. They have a weight room for the players.
Yeah.
Why can't Tony Khan's people use that?
Something.
His
I
dad
mean,
owns it.
Because how many people? I mean, it just. I think she's back now, but I know Jamie Hayter was out for a while, came back, got hurt. Like it's a common issue with it because you nailed it. Like it's part of sports. Like this is an athletic competition, whether these guys are, you know, jocks or not. No. And for a guy like Wardlow, it's like great because you know Tony's gonna add the freaking injury time to him, and he's already been stuck there. I feel like every time I see him not anymore, but when you see him on TV, blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Blink. Is your family okay? No, it's just
with a guy like Wardlow, it's actually almost worse because he's a body guy, and you have to have a certain amount of nutrition and whatever else,
right?
You know, whatever else you're throwing in there to help your body. And if you're not exercising properly, and you're gonna like he tore his pec,
right?
It doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's exactly. It's just one of those things where you just need to. It's right there in front of you, and you've got the money to do it, and they don't, and it just keeps happening.
Just use your common sense.
That's it. Doesn't take
seriously.
We're not.
Even if you're a cheerleader. And you got hurt, you don't go back in your top of the pyramid right off the bat. You have to work. Come on, it's common.
Right, we're not just throwing you off exactly with it. Yeah, no, the easiest comparison every time that I always make is AAA, because like baseball's not nearly as an exertion physically as professional wrestling is, or a lot of other sports. But you've got it is within the times that you sprint and run and whatever. But they always go back, so you can get back into game shape. You know, wrestlers talk about it all the time, you know, whether it's ring rust or you got to get in ring shape or whatever it is. Yeah. You just can't just dive right back into something that at full speed, you know, like there's like even with players, there's practice speed and there's game speed. You're just going to jump from being off and from just working out in the gym to game speed. No, you're going to tear something, and look what happened.
Right. And that's how they operate. They're always like top flight speed. They don't ask Kenny Omega how that worked out for him.
Right. Jesus. Yeah. or what's his buddy? Kota Ibushi.
Or even Will Ospreay.
Yeah. No, I mean, and then you even see it like, Swerve's out too now? I mean, how many?
They're all out.
Yeah. And it's always for like extended periods of time. It's always something major because you can't do that to your body, especially the way they do it and how, it's.
Dude, they own a football and a soccer team. There's nutrition. There's all this stuff that these guys do all the time. It's around them 24/7. Bring it to here.
Yeah. No, yeah, but that would be too corporate. That wouldn't be.
I'm starting to get frustrated.
I get it. No, I'm with you because I get it. It's this indie mindset completely that they just cannot get themselves out of. I mean, that's why their t-shirts are so terrible in the way they are. They just don't. But I joke about us being professionally unprofessional, but like we're getting better with it. We're starting to be way more like these guys have just never improved. It goes back to what we talked about with the television, with the same errors that they have, the same sound errors where like a mic doesn't work or they don't pick it up in the back. So you don't hear like the boom mic wasn't working. So you don't hear the backstage promo or, you know, Renee Moxley Good cutting from herself backstage to herself in the ring. None of this should be happening 6 months into a company, let alone 6 fucking years.
These guys, but here's my thing. They're around professional organizations all day. Yep. Jaguars, whether you think they're professional or not, they're professional. Fulham, it's professional. You know how stuff works. They're athletes. They're not just pieces of meat. They're athletes.
Yeah.
Treat them as such.
Not even pieces of meat. He treats them like action figures. A piece of meat can you beat up? He treats them like they're plastic action figures.
But he's around it. He knows how it works.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He sees it
in a professional setting. Yeah, no. But that's where he just does it. I don't know what
my head's gonna blow off. I'm fucking real pissed.
It's just his brain doesn't process things like a normal person. Like that's why he thinks, oh, I'll charge people $50 every 3 weeks for a pay-per-view I don't do any build up to, and no one watches the show before or after.
But I understand that. But he knows, okay. He knows that the basis of an NFL team is their talent. The basis of a soccer team is their talent.
Yeah.
The basis of a wrestling organization is what?
Your
talent. It's the same fucking thing.
And you have to treat
them like their talent, not like their. No, I mean,
and that's you don't have a headquarters. Everybody just lives where they want to and doesn't do the it's a.
You don't gotta make it like IBM. Just make it like make it like do something. Protect yourself.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like whatever you're doing isn't working. So switch that. That's the other problem is they just keep going forward. Like there's no possibility that we could improve. Like we're doing everything great. And that's where every interview that he does, every press scrum that he does, every media call before a show, everything's great. Everything's improving. We're doing the best shows we've ever done. Everything's the best. There's no way we can improve. And if you have that mindset, and you're not like, the best thing in the world, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
how much better would it be if during one of his pre-show press scrums he goes, we instituted a new nutritional policy at work here. We got a facility, not a performance center. We have a facility set up with a couple rings, some weights, some stuff for the talent can come and go and work on some stuff.
AEW
we got a nice little nutritional thing in the corner so they can follow this and follow that. God, that sounds great, doesn't it?
We have legends or older talent, whatever you want to call them. You don't want to have to call them coaches, that are there to help assist you with promos,
resources,
or maybe we can have a video room where you can watch over your matches or older matches or whatever. Call it AEW's headquarters, or like the fort. What is it? The not the Fortress of Solitude, but like whatever, like the lair, whatever you want to call it. I would
have so much more respect if he came out and just said all what I just said.
That's the thing too. He feels like he can't, in his mind, if he stumbles or he isn't the one fully in charge, or if somebody else makes the decision, he'll look weaker. But in 2025, you look weaker if you're not willing to adapt and not willing to improve, not willing to listen to some constructive criticism. Like, we all can get better at whatever we do. Nobody does anything perfectly 100% all the time. We can always improve. It's a community effort here, and he just does it all himself. That's where.
How much better would the talent look at him too? Jake?
How much better would what?
How much better would the talent look at him if they had a place to go?
Yes, absolutely.
And the talent look at him.
Yeah, and being able to respect him and just understand.
Use it that you will.
Yeah, it's just it just doesn't. Yeah, no, the whole thing, and there's no structure at all. There's nobody there to do anything. And I get a pain behind my eye. Because it's all right there. They have the talent. They have the people. He can pay legends to coach and train. So how many more people would be willing to work under him and for him if he was able to be collaborative and wanting to get better and wanting to improve? But he just wants it to be the wrestling he enjoys, because that's the best, even though only 500,000 people are watching every week.
The wrestling he enjoyed as a kid had structure to it.
It did. Even ECW had structure to it compared to this. Yeah. Like, they knew what they were going. They had a plan. They didn't just do a spot to do a spot. Like, I mean, it sometimes seemed like spot fest if you weren't watching, but there was a storyline involved. There was a reason for it. They were building to something. Not just, hey, we're going to jump off the cage. Woo!
Yeah. I said my piece.
That's just good. That's kind of why I saved the AEW rating for the last. I had a sneaking suspicion where it's going to frustrate the shit out of both of us. Just get this right there.
It wasn't so much there. Yeah. I didn't think I'd be so frustrated with the corporate structure.
It's one of those things I can very easily get frustrated about them because I see what could be and I want it to be. But again, that goes back to their mindset and even a lot of their fans. It's not so much that they're pro AEW, they're just anti WWE and they're just so focused on that as opposed to making themselves better. You know, it's like if somebody, like if you're in a partnership and the partner backstabs you, the best revenge isn't attacking them. The best revenge is making your business successful more than theirs. Like that's, you know, like, and that's where their brain should be, but it's not. And so here's where we are. And I'm sure Collision tomorrow will get 300,000 viewers or
the one thing that does seem obvious to me is that AEW fans do watch WWE.
Oh,
but
yes.
WWE fans do not watch AEW.
Bingo. That is correct. Yeah. It's true. No, I think there was a time that WWE fans were watching AEW and giving it a chance, but that passed. Like I said, whenever that point where Tony, I think it was like sometime in like 2020, like late 2020 or early 2021, where he was like, I've taken over the booking. It's me from now on. And you saw Cody's storylines go to shit and the company kind of go to shit. And ever since then, like CM Punk gave him a little bit of life for a little bit of time, but
yeah.
It's just, and it's not going to get any better, I don't think. But
no, we figured way back. We figured way back when the average core base was about 500 to 550.
Yeah, and I think they've lost some of them. I still think there's a large chunk of people that watch that are either, I don't know if I'd call it hate watching, but watching so they know to be able to make fun of it, you know, to be able to talk and fuck with the sickos, because I think a lot of people get enjoyment out of that. But I think that's maybe 20 to 30,000, you know, it's not that many. I really, no. And the live shows still don't get more than 2,000 to 3,000 in attendance. And I don't care what Dave says about the pay-per-views and the streaming numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was a good way to end it on AEW.
Yeah, great. Now my blood pressure's higher. Thanks.
Well, we had to. You're gonna want to do it to bring up the numbers.
I know.
I know. We're good. And that was fun. Hey, we're just giving our opinions. This is who we are. You get back to what you were saying earlier. We're not putting on a show. We both just got ridiculously frustrated over it. This is just who we are. We care. We want it to be good. But thanks everybody for listening. As always, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Yeah, tune in this Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through my X account. It'll be an open mic night, as far as I know. We might have who knows who will make a run in.
Yeah,
but
maybe we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. But if people have topics, questions, things they want to bring up, bring them to the table. And even if you're not if you're too shy or don't have a microphone and want to speak in a space, you can always put it in the comments of the space. I keep those up, and as long as they're appropriate, I try to read them and get involved. And we want to answer everybody's questions and be interactive with it. So leave a comment on the videos, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anything else you got, George, before we take off?
No, just when people are new to the spaces, feel free. We have core people that come in and always talk, but we do appreciate the new listeners.
Yeah, no, I always try to. That's one. If it's somebody new, I always try to make sure that we approve them to speak. Now, I usually do go vet people's accounts first. So if I see, if I look at your replies and you're screaming at people and yelling and, being a little, and there's not any like normalcy, maybe I might not let people in. But most people come in, they've been really cool. And
yes,
we've yet to have to, but we always said, if somebody's a dick, we will mute you and boot you. No problem at all. We will mute them and boot them. So, but yeah, please keep tuning in, and we thank everybody for listening, and we will catch you next time. Peace.